We've been feeling a lot of that rainy weather here. My niece got attacked by mosquitoes 4th of July weekend because we had so much rain. And
Absolutely.
are we
Every
expecting?
day.
Yeah, are we expecting more of that, Greg, because of all the rain today?
Well, I don't know about the bug stuff as much, but we are expecting to get more of the smoke thing that's going to be coming here with us too. So we got to contend with the rain for some areas this evening, especially as you go further south. Prairie du Chien could be some heavy amounts of rain still. The good news is I think the severe threat really is pushed south of the area there. So overall, it's going to be quiet. But overall, that huge complex down there is causing all the problems in southern Wisconsin and probably all the way down to Grant County. It's just barely touching Prairie du Chien to Bosqueville area. Really, that's about where it is, the heaviest stuff. This will continue to rotate through and then kind of lift north. So precipitation all the way up to I-90 is what you would expect this evening. Eventually, maybe into about 11 or midnight, it'll start kind of pushing across. But as you note, all the way to 10 p.m., we still got this activity here. But this is just generally light rain, not expect any severe weather going on. As you go further north and east, the cold front is still lagging to the west going through Minneapolis. So we won't see much in the way of activity for Eau Claire until we get later in the night when that cold front does approach. We could see a little shower thunderstorms, probably maybe about 4 to 5, maybe 6 a.m. coming across the area. The rest of the area may see some of that scattered activity during the early morning hour, but really it's going to be fairly quiet for a lot of areas in the morning. That cold front comes through. Showers will then push east, and I think the cloud cover persists through the morning, but by the time we get to about noon, we'll probably start seeing a lot more sunshine out there. That northwest wind, cooler, less humid air begins to push into the area. So really a wet evening south of I-90, not as wet as you go further north overall. That's kind of what the trend we're going to go on. Now tomorrow, unfortunately, with the northwest wind to the surface and that low up, they're going to be pulling some of this smoke that is out there from Canadian wildfires that have been kind of plaguing up there for the area. And that smoke, this is surface-based smoke, will come back in probably by Saturday. Lower visibilities, I don't think that'll be a big deal. Maybe going into Sunday morning, we might see lower visibilities for the surface, but that swings through. And then in another area that's even thicker, denser smoke, likely will swing around and come back in towards Sunday morning. So Sunday morning could be hazy, smoky. We'll have to keep an eye. That's when I think visibility could drop a little bit low at times. Now, all this put together does create some air quality issues, and right now it's at least going into unhealthy for some. As you go further north and east, that's where I think you might get maybe into that category, getting close a little bit unhealthy for all, but for most of the area, it's probably going to be staying in that unhealthy category for some areas. And this goes all the way through Monday, because as you notice, that smoke comes through Sunday, and then we got Monday too before the winds begin to change a little bit. So unfortunately, we're going to be dealing with that this weekend. Now, it does make for some great sunsets, but here's your temperatures for tomorrow. Much more refreshing, upper 70s, low 80s, but the humidity will be far less than we saw today. So not much of a temperature change from today, but the humidity levels. Now, Sunday, we'll turn back around. We'll get back up to seasonal conditions with the light wind out of the south, so we're looking more at the low to mid 80s. Monday, we start warming back up, and the humidity starts climbing up a little bit. So back to the mid to upper 80s, potentially 90. And then as we go on for Tuesday, look at that. We're getting close to 90, but notice up to the north towards Fargo. Another front's going to be coming. That's going to provide our next chance of rain coming into Tuesday and Wednesday, provided much refreshing and even fall-like somewhat temperatures coming Thursday and Friday of next week before we kind of warm a little bit up for that following weekend. So for this evening, really, if you're south of I-90 and that's going to be wet, at least until midnight. If you're north, a little bit of showers here and there, but overall not too bad of an evening. And then obviously we got the smoke kind of coming back in.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Greg.